The Power of Silence. Make everything flow in your favor. Written and published by Elevate Book. Introduction. Understanding the power of silence. Why silence matters more than ever. In a world that never stops talking, silence has become a rare commodity. We are constantly bombarded with information, notifications buzzing, social media updates flooding our screens, and endless conversations competing for our attention. Our modern society equates being outspoken with confidence, associates noise with productivity, and sees silence as awkward or empty. But what if silence was the key to unlocking our greatest potential? Throughout history, the most influential thinkers, leaders, and visionaries have embraced silence as a tool for mastery. From Marcus Aurelius to Mahatma Gandhi, from Albert Einstein to Steve Jobs, the ability to remain silent, observe, and listen has been at the heart of their wisdom and success. This book is about the power of silence, not just the absence of noise, but the presence of awareness, clarity, and control. It's about learning to navigate life with grace, making everything flow in your favor by mastering when to speak, when to listen, and when to simply be. What you will learn in this book. The Power of Silence. Make everything flow in your favor is designed to help you harness the immense benefits of silence in all aspects of life. Your personal growth, relationships, decision-making, career, and inner peace. Each chapter will take you on a deep dive into different dimensions of silence, offering real-life examples, scientific insights, and practical exercises to help you integrate silence into your daily life. Here's what you can expect. The science behind silence. Learn how silence affects the brain, improves cognition, and reduces stress. The role of silence in communication. Understand how silence can make you a more persuasive and powerful communicator. Silence in decision-making. Discover how moments of quiet reflection lead to better choices and more clarity. The spiritual power of silence. Explore how silence connects you to a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. Practical strategies to cultivate silence. Get actionable techniques to bring more silence into your life, even in a noisy world. This book is not about avoiding conversation or withdrawing from the world. Instead, it's about learning to use silence as a strategic advantage, to create space for better thinking, to foster deeper connections, and to navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom. Why this book matters. Many people struggle with overwhelm, anxiety, and burnout, often because they are drowning in external noise while ignoring their internal wisdom. Our fast-paced culture rewards those who react quickly but rarely values those who pause to think. However, some of the most powerful individuals in history, whether in business, politics, or personal development, have understood that silence is where transformation begins. By the time you finish this book, you will see silence not as an absence, but as a force, a source of strength, clarity, and influence. You will have the tools to master silence in a way that aligns with your personal and professional goals. Now, let's begin our journey into the power of silence. Chapter 1. The Power of Silence. Why silence is a superpower. The hidden strength of silence. Imagine walking into a room full of people in deep conversation. Some are talking loudly, trying to dominate the discussion, while others are interrupting, eager to share their opinions. Then, in the midst of the noise, someone sits quietly, listening, observing, absorbing everything before they speak. When they finally do, their words carry weight, commanding attention and respect. This is the power of silence. In a world that rewards constant talking, reacting, and broadcasting, silence is an underrated superpower. Those who understand how to use it wisely gain an edge in communication, decision-making, and influence. Silence creates space for deep thought, allows for better understanding, and enhances personal growth. This chapter explores why silence is a strength rather than a weakness, backed by historical examples, psychological insights, and real-life applications. By the end, you will see silence not as emptiness, but as a powerful tool for success. 1. Silence in history. The influence of quiet leaders. Throughout history, some of the most impactful leaders have recognized the power of silence. They understood that wisdom often comes from listening rather than speaking. Let's examine how historical figures used silence as a strategic advantage. Mahatma Gandhi, leading without noise. Gandhi, one of the most influential figures of the 20th century, often practiced intentional silence. He believed that periods of silence strengthened his mind and deepened his ability to lead with clarity. Every Monday, he observed a day of silence, refraining from speaking or engaging in unnecessary distractions. This habit helped him focus on his mission and make thoughtful decisions. Abraham Lincoln, thinking before speaking. Lincoln was known for his measured responses and thoughtful silence during debates and political discussions. Unlike his opponents, who often reacted impulsively, Lincoln carefully chose his words after listening attentively. His ability to stay silent, even when provoked, made him a powerful negotiator and an admired leader. Warren Buffett, the quiet investor. One of the world's most successful investors, Warren Buffett, attributes much of his success to the ability to remain silent and think deeply. While others react to stock market fluctuations with panic, Buffett stays calm, analyzing long-term trends before making decisions. His patience and ability to embrace silence have been key to his financial success. These examples demonstrate that silence is not a sign of passivity, it is a sign of strength. The greatest minds in history have used silence to their advantage, gaining clarity, influence, and control over their circumstances. 2. The psychology of silence. Why it makes you more powerful. Silence affects the brain in profound ways, helping individuals develop focus, emotional intelligence, and decision-making abilities. Let's explore why silence is a psychological advantage. Silence enhances mental clarity. When we are constantly surrounded by noise, our brains struggle to process information efficiently. Research shows that silence allows the brain to reset and process thoughts more effectively. A study conducted by neuroscientists at Duke University found that 2 hours of silence per day led to the development of new brain cells in the hippocampus, the region responsible for memory and learning. Silence improves emotional intelligence. People who embrace silence tend to be more emotionally intelligent. When you listen rather than immediately react, you gain a better understanding of people's emotions and motivations. This ability helps in building stronger relationships, resolving conflicts, and making informed decisions. Silence strengthens willpower. Psychologists have found that individuals who practice moments of silence, such as meditation or reflection, have greater self-control. They are less likely to react impulsively and more likely to make decisions that align with their long-term goals. Silence reduces stress and anxiety. A study published in the Journal of Neuroscience found that exposure to silence for just a few minutes can lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and activate the brain's relaxation response. This is why practices like mindfulness and silent retreats have become popular tools for stress management. 3. The role of silence in communication. Most people assume that communication is about speaking well, but true mastery comes from knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Here's why silence makes you a better communicator. Silence creates presence and authority. People who speak less but listen more are perceived as more powerful. When you pause before responding, it signals that you are thoughtful and in control. This technique is often used by great orators, negotiators, and leaders to command attention. Silence forces others to listen. Have you ever noticed that when a speaker pauses, the audience leans in? Strategic silence creates anticipation, making people more engaged in what you have to say. Silence prevents unnecessary conflicts. In arguments, reacting immediately can escalate tensions. Silence gives you time to think before responding, allowing for a more measured and effective reply. Many successful leaders use silence as a negotiation tactic, letting the other party speak first and reveal more than they intended. 4. Practical exercises. Strengthening your silence superpower. Now that you understand the power of silence, it's time to put it into practice. Here are some exercises to help you integrate silence into your daily life. The 5-second rule in conversations. Before responding in a conversation, wait 5 seconds. This helps you process what was said and respond more thoughtfully. You'll notice that your words become more meaningful, and people will start listening to you more attentively. Silent mornings. Start your day with 15 minutes of silence. No phone, no music, no distractions, just silence. This helps set a calm and focused tone for the rest of your day. Observation challenge. Go to a public place, such as a cafe or park, and sit in silence for 20 minutes. Observe people's conversations, body language, and interactions. This will help you develop a deeper understanding of human behavior. D. Silence in decision-making. The next time you have to make a big decision, spend 30 minutes in complete silence before deciding. This prevents impulsive choices and allows your brain to process all the information rationally. Conclusion: silence as your greatest strength. Silence is not about being passive, it is about being powerful. When used wisely, it enhances decision-making, improves relationships, and creates an aura of authority. Those who master silence gain control over their thoughts, emotions, and interactions, allowing life to flow in their favor. As you move forward, start observing where silence plays a role in your life. Notice how people respond to it, how it makes you feel, and how it changes the way you communicate. In the next chapter, we will explore silence and self-mastery, strengthening your inner world. You will learn how silence can be used as a tool for personal growth, emotional resilience, and mental discipline. Are you ready to harness the full power of silence? Let's continue this journey. Chapter 2: Silence and Self-Mastery, Strengthening Your Inner World. The inner power of silence. In a world that constantly demands our attention, silence is a rare sanctuary. Most people seek external validation, looking for answers in the noise around them. But those who achieve true mastery over their emotions, thoughts, and actions understand that the greatest power lies within. Self-mastery is the ability to control your emotions, make rational decisions, and align your actions with your long-term goals. It is what separates those who live reactively from those who live intentionally. And at the heart of self-mastery is silence. This chapter will explore how silence helps you strengthen your inner world. You'll learn how moments of quiet reflection can transform your mindset, help you break free from emotional reactions, and develop greater resilience. Through real-life examples, psychological research, and practical exercises, you will discover how to harness silence as a tool for personal growth. 1. The relationship between silence and self-mastery. Self-mastery is about taking control of your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and responses. But how does silence play a role in this? Silence gives you control over your mind. Most people are slaves to their thoughts. Their minds are constantly racing, filled with worries, doubts, and distractions. Silence creates space for clarity. It allows you to separate yourself from the noise in your mind and observe your thoughts objectively. Silence is the sleep that nourishes wisdom. Francis Bacon. Silence helps you regulate your emotions. Have you ever reacted impulsively in a moment of anger, only to regret it later? Emotional reactions often stem from a lack of internal space. When you introduce silence into your life, you develop the ability to pause before reacting. This makes you more emotionally intelligent and resilient. Silence strengthens your willpower. Self-discipline is the foundation of success. Studies have shown that people who engage in mindfulness practices, such as silent reflection or meditation, have stronger self-control. They are less likely to give in to distractions, cravings, or impulses. Silence allows you to respond rather than react. Instead of being a victim of circumstances, you become the master of your destiny. 2. Scientific insights. How silence rewires your brain. The impact of silence on self-mastery is not just philosophical, it is backed by neuroscience. Let's explore how silence affects the brain. Silence and neuroplasticity. A study published in Brain Structure and Function found that exposure to silence leads to the growth of new brain cells in the hippocampus, the region associated with memory and learning. This means that silence literally helps your brain rewire itself, making you more adaptable and intelligent. Silence reduces stress and anxiety. Chronic noise increases cortisol levels, which leads to stress and anxiety. Silence, on the other hand, has been found to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and emotional balance. A 2-minute period of silence is more effective at reducing blood pressure and heart rate than listening to relaxing music. Study by Luciano Bernardi, 2006. Silence enhances focus and creativity. In a world full of distractions, deep focus is a superpower. Studies have shown that moments of silence improve cognitive function and boost creativity. This is why some of the greatest minds, including Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and Steve Jobs, were known for embracing solitude and silence in their work. 3. Practical ways to cultivate silence for self-mastery. Now that you understand the power of silence, how can you integrate it into your daily life? Here are some actionable techniques to help you develop self-mastery through silence. A. The power of the pause. One of the simplest ways to use silence for self-mastery is by practicing the pause. Whenever you feel an emotional reaction rising, whether it's anger, frustration, or anxiety, pause for a few moments before responding. Exercise. The 5-second rule. When you feel triggered, take a deep breath and count to 5 before responding. This brief silence allows you to process your emotions and choose a response that aligns with your values. B. Silent reflection. The daily review. At the end of each day, spend 10 to 15 minutes in complete silence, reflecting on your actions, thoughts, and emotions. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where could I have exercised more self-control? How can I improve tomorrow? This practice enhances self-awareness and helps you make intentional improvements in your life. C. The silent morning routine. Starting your day with silence sets the tone for focus and control. Instead of checking your phone or jumping into conversations, spend your first 30 minutes in quiet reflection. Suggested morning silence routine. Wake up and spend 5 minutes in deep breathing. Journal your thoughts and intentions for the day. Avoid consuming unnecessary noise, TV, social media, etc. Engage in silent reading or meditation before starting your tasks. D. The 24-hour silence challenge. Want to experience the true power of silence? Try spending an entire day in silence. No unnecessary talking, no social media, no distractions, just observation, reflection, and deep listening. This exercise will help you realize how much energy is wasted on unnecessary conversations and how much clarity you gain from simply being present. 4. The role of silence in developing inner strength. Self-mastery is not about controlling external circumstances. It is about mastering your internal state. Silence teaches you to remain calm under pressure. When you practice silence, you develop a stronger tolerance for discomfort. Detach from negativity. Silence helps you avoid getting caught up in gossip, drama, or emotional conflicts. Strengthen your decision-making. When you think before you speak or act, you make choices that align with your higher goals. One of the greatest tests of self-mastery is learning to be comfortable with silence. Many people avoid it because silence forces them to confront their inner world. But those who embrace it develop unshakable confidence and inner peace. Conclusion. Becoming the master of your inner world. Silence is more than just the absence of noise. It is the foundation of self-mastery. When you learn to control your thoughts, emotions, and impulses through silence, you gain true power over your life. In this chapter, we explored how silence helps you regulate emotions, develop self-control, and enhance focus. Scientific research proving that silence rewires the brain for resilience and intelligence. Practical techniques like silent reflection, mindful pausing, and morning silence routines. The connection between silence and inner strength. Now, as you move forward, start incorporating moments of silence into your daily routine. Pay attention to how it transforms your thoughts, your decisions, and your overall sense of self. In the next chapter, we will explore the science of silence, how it rewires your brain for success. You will learn how neuroscience supports the power of silence and how you can use it to enhance memory, creativity, and emotional resilience. Are you ready to unlock the full potential of your mind? Let's continue this journey. Chapter 3. The Science of Silence, how it rewires your brain for success. The neuroscience of silence. Silence is often mistaken for emptiness, but in reality, it is a powerful force that can transform the mind. While the world pushes for constant noise and activity, science has discovered that moments of silence have profound effects on the brain. In this chapter, we will explore how silence affects brain function, enhances cognitive abilities, and promotes emotional well-being. You will learn how silence influences neuroplasticity, memory retention, creativity, and mental clarity. By the end, you will have a scientific understanding of why silence is essential for success and practical ways to integrate it into your daily routine. 1. How silence changes the brain. The science explained. Silence is more than just a break from noise. It actively reshapes the brain. Neuroscientific research has revealed fascinating insights into how silence benefits brain health and overall cognitive function. Silence and neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries in neuroscience is that silence contributes to the growth of new neurons in the brain. A study published in Brain Structure and Function found that 2 hours of silence per day led to increased neurogenesis in the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for learning, memory, and emotion regulation. Key takeaway: moments of silence help your brain create new pathways, improving cognitive abilities and mental resilience. Silence enhances memory retention. Our brains are constantly processing information, but without pauses, they struggle to retain knowledge effectively. Silence gives the brain a chance to consolidate memories and improve retention. Researchers at the University of California found that periods of quiet reflection, such as sitting in silence after reading or learning, helped participants remember more information than those who were exposed to continuous noise. Key takeaway: if you want to improve your memory and learning capacity, incorporating silent reflection after acquiring new knowledge can significantly enhance retention. Silence and stress reduction. Lowering cortisol levels. Noise pollution and constant auditory stimulation increase the production of cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol levels are linked to anxiety, poor decision-making, and weakened immune function. In contrast, silence has been proven to reduce cortisol and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation and mental balance. A study published in the Journal of Neuroscience showed that even 2 minutes of complete silence can lower blood pressure, reduce heart rate, and improve overall well-being. Key takeaway: silence serves as a natural antidote to stress, helping you maintain emotional balance and mental clarity. Silence boosts creativity and problem-solving. Many of history's greatest innovators, including Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, and Isaac Newton, use solitude and silence as tools for deep thinking. Research supports this. When the brain is not bombarded with external stimuli, it enters a state of default mode network, DMN, activity. The DMN is the brain's idea generator, responsible for creativity, insight, and problem-solving. A study at the University of Virginia found that moments of silence allow the DMN to function optimally, leading to creative breakthroughs. Key takeaway: if you're struggling with a problem or need inspiration, take a break in silence. Your brain will work on solutions without conscious effort. 2. The psychological benefits of silence. Beyond neuroscience, silence also has powerful psychological benefits that contribute to success. Let's explore some of these key advantages. Silence increases self-awareness. When we eliminate external distractions, we can better observe our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Silence fosters introspection, helping us gain deeper insights into our motivations and patterns. This is why many successful leaders, from Mahatma Gandhi to Warren Buffett, incorporate silent reflection into their routines. They understand that self-awareness is the foundation of great decision-making. Silence strengthens emotional regulation. Emotional intelligence is a key factor in personal and professional success. Those who master their emotions can navigate challenges more effectively and build stronger relationships. By practicing silence, individuals become more mindful of their emotional triggers and develop greater control over their responses. This reduces impulsive reactions and fosters thoughtful, intentional action. Silence enhances patience and discipline. The ability to sit in silence without distraction is a skill that strengthens patience and discipline. In a world of instant gratification, those who can delay reactions, analyze situations calmly, and make measured decisions are at a significant advantage. Key takeaway: practicing silence trains your mind to stay focused and disciplined, making you more resilient in the face of obstacles. 3. Practical techniques to use silence for mental growth. Understanding the science behind silence is one thing. Applying it is another. Here are practical ways to incorporate silence into your daily life for mental clarity and success. The 10-minute silent mindfulness exercise. Every morning or evening, spend 10 minutes sitting in complete silence. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and simply observe your thoughts without reacting to them. Benefits: This practice strengthens focus, reduces stress, and improves decision-making skills. B. The silent learning method. After reading or learning something new, spend a few minutes in silence to allow your brain to absorb the information. Benefits: enhances memory retention and deepens understanding. C. The silence and creativity practice. If you are stuck on a problem or need inspiration, take a 30-minute silent walk without any distractions. No phone, no music. Let your mind wander freely. Benefits: boosts creative thinking and problem-solving abilities. D. The 24-hour silent challenge. Once a month, commit to a full day of silence. No speaking, no unnecessary technology, just observation, reflection, and deep listening. Benefits: develops mental discipline, enhances self-awareness, and resets the mind for clarity. 4. How silence can be your secret advantage in success. The most successful people in the world do not succeed because they talk the most. They succeed because they think deeply, listen carefully, and make well-calculated decisions. Silence allows you to outthink your competition. By spending time in silence, you develop deeper insights than those who react impulsively. Gain an emotional edge. People who embrace silence remain calm and composed in high-pressure situations. Command respect. Silence makes you a more powerful communicator, as people pay attention to those who speak with intention. By integrating silence into your daily life, you position yourself for greater success, mental resilience, and emotional intelligence. Conclusion: rewiring your brain for success through silence. Silence is not merely an absence of noise. It is a tool for transformation. Neuroscience confirms that silence enhances memory, creativity, emotional regulation, and stress management. Psychology reveals that it strengthens self-awareness, patience, and discipline. In this chapter, we explored how silence promotes brain growth, lowers stress, and boosts creativity. The psychological benefits of silence, including emotional intelligence and decision-making. Practical techniques to harness silence for success, such as mindfulness, silent learning, and creativity walks. How silence gives you a competitive edge in both personal and professional life. As we move into the next chapter, we will explore silence in decision-making, how to make smarter choices. You will learn how silence can help you avoid impulsive mistakes, improve judgment, and navigate difficult decisions with confidence. Are you ready to master the art of decision-making through silence? Let's continue this journey. Chapter 4. Silence and Decision-Making, How to Make Smarter Choices. The power of silence in thinking clearly. Every day, we are faced with decisions. Some small, like what to eat for breakfast, and some life-changing, like choosing a career path or deciding on a major investment. In today's fast-paced world, people are conditioned to react quickly, often making impulsive decisions based on emotions rather than logic. But what if the secret to making the best choices wasn't to act faster, but rather to pause in silence? Silence is one of the most powerful tools for improving decision-making. It allows us to slow down, analyze a situation with clarity, and consider long-term consequences before acting. Some of the most successful leaders, investors, and strategists in history have leveraged silence to make calculated and effective choices. In this chapter, we will explore how silence enhances decision-making, the science behind slowing down the thought process, and practical strategies you can use to improve your choices in everyday life. 1. Why silence is crucial for better decision-making. Silence reduces emotional reactivity. Many poor decisions are made in the heat of the moment. Whether it's sending an angry email, making a rash financial move, or saying something we regret, emotional decision-making often leads to negative consequences. Studies in neuroscience show that taking even a few moments of silence before responding can lower activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear and emotion center, and activate the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for rational thinking and logic. When we pause in silence before making a choice, we shift from reacting emotionally to thinking strategically. Silence helps process complex information. Our brains can only handle so much information at once. In high-stakes situations, too much noise, both external and internal, can cloud our judgment. Silence provides the space to process all available information without distractions. A study at the University of California found that participants who engaged in silent reflection before making a decision performed significantly better in complex problem-solving tasks compared to those who made instant choices. Taking time for silence ensures that all factors are considered before reaching a conclusion. Silence allows you to tap into intuition. Logical reasoning is essential in decision-making, but intuition, our subconscious ability to recognize patterns and make judgments, is just as valuable. Many of history's greatest thinkers, from Albert Einstein to Steve Jobs, credited moments of silence and solitude for their biggest breakthroughs. The brain's default mode network, DMN, which is activated during moments of silence and deep reflection, helps connect ideas and insights that might not be obvious in noisy, fast-paced environments. Silence allows us to tune into our instincts and recognize patterns that would otherwise go unnoticed. 2. The science behind silence and decision-making. Neuroscience supports the idea that silence enhances cognitive function and improves the quality of decisions. Here's how. Silence engages the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the part of the brain responsible for reasoning, critical thinking, and problem-solving. When we engage in silence, we give this area time to process information, reducing impulsivity and improving clarity. MRI scans show that when individuals pause in silence before responding, activity in the prefrontal cortex increases, leading to more logical and calculated decision-making. Silence reduces cognitive overload. When faced with too many choices, the brain experiences decision fatigue, leading to impulsive or poor choices. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that people who took moments of silence before making purchasing decisions were more likely to choose wisely and avoid unnecessary spending. Taking a silent pause before making choices reduces mental exhaustion and improves overall judgment. Silence enhances perspective-taking. Great decision-makers don't just think about their own perspectives. They consider multiple viewpoints. Silence gives the brain the opportunity to step back and see the bigger picture, leading to more balanced and fair decisions. A Harvard Business Review study showed that leaders who incorporated silence into their decision-making process were 20% more likely to make choices that benefited both short-term and long-term goals. By stepping into silence, you gain a broader perspective, allowing you to make choices that align with your values and future objectives. 3. Practical strategies for using silence in decision-making. Now that we understand the benefits of silence in making smarter choices, let's explore practical techniques to incorporate it into daily life. The 10-second rule for emotional decisions. Before responding to an emotional trigger, a difficult email, an argument, or an urgent request, count to 10 in silence. Why it works. This gives the rational brain time to engage, preventing impulsive reactions. The 30-minute rule for important decisions. For significant choices, investments, career moves, major commitments, take at least 30 minutes of silent contemplation before deciding. Why it works. This practice helps you detach from immediate pressures and see the long-term impact of your decision. The silent thinking time habit. Set aside 15 to 30 minutes of daily silent reflection where you simply think about your goals, decisions, and future plans. No distractions, no external inputs, just your thoughts. Why it works. Research shows that structured silent thinking time improves long-term decision-making abilities and goal-setting success. The overnight rule for life-changing decisions. If a decision will have a major impact on your life, always sleep on it. Spend a night in silence before finalizing your choice. Why it works. Sleep and silence work together to consolidate thoughts, reducing decision fatigue and allowing subconscious insights to emerge. 4. How silence helps in negotiations and leadership. The power of the pause in negotiations. Skilled negotiators understand that silence can be more powerful than words. When you pause after making a statement or hearing an offer, it creates a psychological advantage, making the other party feel the need to fill the silence, often with valuable information or a better offer. Practical tip. The next time you negotiate, use silence after making a request. The longer you stay silent, the more likely you are to get what you want. Silence in leadership and influence. Great leaders don't just talk, they listen. Silence allows leaders to process all perspectives before making decisions. Project confidence and authority. Avoid unnecessary conflicts by responding rather than reacting. Case study. Steve Jobs was famous for his long pauses in meetings. Instead of rushing to answer, he would sit in silence, thinking deeply before responding. This often led to breakthrough ideas and stronger decision-making. 5. Conclusion. Mastering decision-making through silence. Silence is not a weakness. It is a superpower when it comes to making better decisions. In this chapter, we explored how silence reduces emotional reactivity and enhances rational thinking, the neuroscience behind silence and cognitive function, practical techniques such as the 10-second rule, the overnight rule, and silent thinking time, how silence is a tool for effective negotiation and leadership. By integrating silence into your decision-making process, you gain clarity, control, and wisdom, ensuring that every choice you make aligns with your long-term goals and values. In the next chapter, we will explore silence in communication, mastering the art of influence. You will learn how to use silence as a tool for persuasion, conflict resolution, and building deeper connections in both personal and professional relationships. Are you ready to unlock the power of silence in communication? Let's continue this journey. Chapter 5. Silence in Communication, Mastering the Art of Influence. The Power of Saying Less. Most people believe that great communicators are those who speak eloquently, express themselves clearly, and command attention with their words. While this is true to some extent, what often goes unnoticed is the incredible power of silence in communication. Silence, when used strategically, can strengthen your presence in conversations, increase the impact of your words, make others feel heard and understood, influence people without force. In this chapter, we will explore how silence plays a crucial role in communication, leadership, and influence. You'll learn how silence can make you a better listener, improve your negotiation skills, and help you resolve conflicts with wisdom. 1. Why silence is a powerful communication tool. Silence is often underestimated in conversations, yet it has the ability to convey confidence, wisdom, and authority. Here's why silence is an essential communication tool. A silence commands respect and presence. People who speak less and listen more are often perceived as more intelligent and authoritative. When you pause before responding, you signal that you are thoughtful and in control. Case study. A study by Harvard Business School found that CEOs and executives who use strategic pauses in conversations were perceived as more competent and trustworthy than those who spoke continuously. Practical tip. Before responding to a question or statement, pause for a few seconds. This will make your words more impactful and show that you are listening attentively. Silence increases the value of your words. The less frequently you speak, the more weight your words carry. When you choose your words carefully and allow silence to fill the gaps, people naturally pay more attention. Example. In negotiations, when someone makes an offer, responding immediately weakens your position. However, if you remain silent and thoughtful, the other party often feels pressured to revise their offer in your favor. Silence helps you read people better. When you allow silence in a conversation, you give others space to reveal their true thoughts and emotions. This is especially useful in negotiations, sales, and leadership. Practical tip. Instead of rushing to fill silences in conversations, let the other person speak. You'll be surprised at how much more they reveal when you don't interrupt. 2. The role of silence in active listening. One of the biggest communication problems today is that people listen to respond, rather than listen to understand. Silence is the key to becoming a great listener. The science of listening and silence. Research from the University of Missouri shows that when people pause in silence while listening, they retain 30% more information than those who interrupt or think about their next response while the other person is talking. How to use silence for better listening. Pause before responding. Give the speaker time to finish their thoughts. Maintain eye contact. Show that you are present and engaged. Avoid interrupting. Resist the urge to jump in with your opinion too soon. Reflect before speaking. Use silence to process what was said before formulating your response. Practical exercise. The next time you have a conversation, practice a 3-second pause before responding. This simple habit will make people feel more heard and respected. 3. Silence in negotiations and persuasion. Silence is a secret weapon in persuasion. Whether you are negotiating a deal, asking for a raise, or influencing a group, knowing when to stay silent can give you a significant advantage. The silent pause in negotiations. One of the most effective negotiation tactics is the silent pause. Here's how it works. When you make a request or an offer, stop talking. Resist the urge to fill the silence. Let the other person break the silence, often leading them to make a concession. Case study. FBI hostage negotiators use silence strategically to get criminals to reveal more information or to agree to terms. The longer the silence, the more likely the other party feels the need to speak and compromise. Practical tip. In your next negotiation, ask for what you want and remain silent. You'll often get a better deal simply by resisting the urge to speak first. B. Using silence to increase influence. Great leaders and influencers use silence as a tool to guide conversations. When you pause strategically, it makes people reflect on what was just said, increasing its impact. Example. When Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, he used deliberate pauses between key sentences. This allowed the audience to absorb the message and amplified its power. Practical tip. When making an important statement, pause afterward to let your words sink in. This increases their impact and makes people more likely to remember them. 4. Silence in conflict resolution. Conflict often escalates when people respond impulsively. Silence, however, can be a powerful de-escalation tool. How silence prevents arguments from escalating. Pausing before responding. When emotions are high, taking a moment of silence helps prevent saying something regrettable. Letting the other person vent. People often calm down when given space to express themselves without immediate rebuttal. Using silence to show strength. In conflicts, the person who remains composed and silent often has the upper hand. Example. A study published in the Journal of Conflict Resolution found that couples who practiced silent pauses during arguments had higher relationship satisfaction and better communication over time. Practical tip. The next time someone is angry or upset, remain silent and let them speak. You'll find that many conflicts dissolve simply because you didn't add to the fire. 5. Practical exercises to master silence in communication. Now that you understand the power of silence, here are some exercises to help you apply it. The wait 3 seconds rule. Whenever someone finishes speaking, wait 3 seconds before responding. This small habit will make you a better listener and communicator. B. The silent speech exercise. Practice delivering a message with intentional pauses. Record yourself and listen to how pauses enhance your words. C. The silent negotiation practice. In your next negotiation, make an offer and stay silent. Let the other person speak first. D. The conflict resolution silence exercise. The next time someone is upset, remain silent and let them talk. Observe how silence changes the conversation. Conclusion. Speak less, influence more. Silence is one of the most underrated communication skills. In this chapter, we explored how silence commands respect and presence in conversations, the role of silence in active listening, how silence strengthens negotiations and persuasion, the power of silence in conflict resolution, practical exercises to develop silence as a communication skill. By using silence strategically, you will become a more effective communicator, a better listener, and a more influential person. In the next chapter, we will explore silence in conflict resolution, winning without words. You will learn how to use silence to de-escalate arguments, manage difficult conversations, and handle conflicts with wisdom. Are you ready to master the art of silent power in conflict resolution? Let's continue this journey. Chapter 6. Silence in conflict resolution, winning without words. The art of resolving conflicts without speaking too much. Conflict is an unavoidable part of life. Whether in personal relationships, workplace dynamics, or negotiations, disagreements are bound to arise. Most people assume that resolving conflict requires persuasive arguments, strong reasoning, or even loud debates. However, some of the most effective conflict resolution strategies involve silence. Silence in conflict resolution is not about passivity or avoidance. Instead, it is a powerful strategy that allows emotions to settle, provides space for reflection, and fosters understanding without unnecessary confrontation. By learning to use silence effectively, you can de-escalate heated arguments, maintain control over your emotions, encourage the other person to self-reflect, reach solutions faster without unnecessary tension. In this chapter, we will explore how silence can be used as a tool for resolving conflicts peacefully and strategically. You'll learn about psychological insights, practical techniques, and real-life applications that demonstrate the power of winning without words. 1. Why silence is an effective conflict resolution tool. Silence plays a crucial role in conflict resolution because it changes the dynamics of an argument. When people expect a reaction and don't receive one, they are forced to reconsider their approach. Here's why silence works. Silence diffuses emotional reactions. Many conflicts escalate because of emotional outbursts. When one person raises their voice, the other often responds in kind, creating a cycle of escalating anger. Case study. A 2014 study in the Journal of Behavioral Science found that individuals who paused for at least 10 seconds before responding in an argument were 40% less likely to escalate the conflict compared to those who reacted immediately. Practical tip. When someone is emotionally charged, remain silent and let them vent. Avoid interrupting or responding with equal intensity. The absence of a reaction often calms the situation. Silence gives people space to reflect. When someone is speaking aggressively and they are met with silence, they begin to hear themselves more clearly. This often leads to self-correction. Example. Have you ever seen someone realize they are overreacting mid-argument? This often happens when the other person doesn't engage in a verbal battle, forcing them to reflect on their own words. Practical tip. Instead of countering every argument, let silence do the work. Many people talk themselves out of anger when given space. Silence prevents saying things you'll regret. One of the biggest mistakes in conflict is saying something in the heat of the moment that you later regret. Silence creates a buffer between thoughts and words, allowing you to choose your responses wisely. Practical tip. In any disagreement, give yourself at least 5 seconds before responding. This prevents impulsive words that may damage relationships. 2. The psychology of silence in conflict resolution. Psychological research supports the idea that silence is a powerful de-escalation tool. Let's explore the science behind it. Silence lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. Conflict triggers the brain's fight-or-flight response, increasing cortisol levels. Studies show that periods of silence can lower cortisol, making both parties more receptive to resolution. Study. Researchers at Duke University found that 2 minutes of silence had a greater stress-reducing effect than even listening to calming music. Silence increases emotional intelligence. People who use silence in conflicts tend to have higher emotional intelligence, EQ. They are better at controlling their emotions, reading the emotions of others, and responding in a measured way. Example. Leaders who use silence during disagreements are seen as more composed and capable of handling difficult situations. Silence shifts the power dynamic. In verbal conflicts, the person who stays silent holds more control. The one who talks more is often the one trying to justify themselves, while the silent person remains composed. Example. In professional negotiations, silence is often used as a tactic to make the other party feel pressure to speak and, in doing so, reveal more information. Practical tip. If someone challenges you aggressively, respond with a thoughtful pause instead of an immediate defense. This often unsettles the aggressor and gives you control over the conversation. 3. Practical strategies for using silence in conflict resolution. Now that we understand why silence is effective, let's explore how to apply it in real-life situations. The silent pause technique. Whenever someone is aggressive or confrontational, instead of reacting immediately, take a deep breath and pause for 5 to 10 seconds before responding. Why it works. This disrupts the usual pattern of conflict escalation and forces the other person to reconsider their own words. The let them talk strategy. Many conflicts arise because people don't feel heard. Instead of arguing back, use silence to encourage the other person to fully express themselves. Steps to apply it. Let the other person finish speaking completely. Pause for a few moments before responding. Acknowledge their feelings without immediately defending yourself. Example. In workplace disputes, managers who allow employees to voice concerns in silence before responding report higher conflict resolution success rates. See the silent walk-away method. Not every argument needs an immediate response. In some cases, walking away in silence sends a stronger message than words ever could. Example: if a conversation becomes toxic or unproductive, calmly say, "Let's continue this when we're both calmer," and walk away in silence. D. The reflective silence approach. Before making a decision or offering a solution in a conflict, sit in silence and reflect on the best course of action. Practical tip: the next time you're in a heated debate, instead of reacting impulsively, take 5 minutes in silence before responding. This allows for better decision-making. 4. Silence in different types of conflicts. A. Silence in personal relationships. When a partner is upset, silence shows you are listening rather than trying to fix the problem. Silence can prevent arguments from escalating by giving both parties space to cool down. Practical tip: the next time your partner is emotional, try silent presence instead of immediate problem solving. B. Silence in workplace conflicts. In office disagreements, silence can be used to disarm aggression and project confidence. Silent listening helps de-escalate team conflicts and improves understanding. Practical tip: if a coworker is being confrontational, pause before responding to shift the power dynamic. See silence in negotiations. Negotiators who use silence after making an offer often receive better counteroffers. Silence creates discomfort, prompting the other party to make concessions. Practical tip: in any negotiation, make your offer and stay silent. Let them speak first. 5. Exercises to master silence in conflict resolution. Want to get better at using silence effectively? Try these exercises. A. The 1-minute silent response challenge. Whenever someone criticizes or challenges you, take a full minute before responding. Observe how this changes the conversation. B. The silent mirror exercise. When faced with an emotional argument, respond with silence and a calm facial expression. Notice how this shifts the energy. C. The pause before speaking drill. For one day, practice pausing for 5 seconds before responding to any disagreement. This will train your brain to be more mindful in conflicts. Conclusion: winning without words. Silence is not weakness. It is a powerful strategy for resolving conflicts with wisdom. In this chapter, we explored how silence de-escalates emotional conflicts, the science behind silence and stress reduction, practical techniques such as the silent pause, let them talk strategy, and reflective silence approach, how silence is used in personal relationships, workplace conflicts, and negotiations. By mastering the art of silence in conflict resolution, you will gain control over your emotions, earn respect in difficult conversations, and resolve conflicts more effectively. In the next chapter, we will explore the spiritual power of silence, finding deeper meaning in life. You will learn how silence can be a gateway to self-discovery, inner peace, and spiritual awakening. Are you ready to explore the deeper, transformative side of silence? Let's continue this journey. Chapter 7. The spiritual power of silence, finding deeper meaning in life. Silence as a path to inner peace and wisdom. In a world filled with distractions, silence has become a rare and often misunderstood experience. Many people avoid silence because it forces them to confront their thoughts, emotions, and inner truths. However, those who embrace silence discover something profound, an inner sanctuary of peace, wisdom, and clarity. Throughout history, sages, mystics, and great thinkers have used silence as a gateway to deeper understanding. From Buddhist monks in meditation to Christian contemplatives in prayer, silence has been recognized as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. But silence is not just for monks or philosophers. It is available to all of us, offering profound benefits for mental clarity, emotional healing, and personal growth. In this chapter, we will explore the spiritual dimensions of silence, its role in self-discovery, and practical ways to cultivate silence in daily life to deepen your connection with yourself and the universe. 1. Why silence is a gateway to spiritual growth. Silence has long been associated with enlightenment and inner transformation. But why is silence so powerful in spiritual practice? Silence removes external distractions. The modern world is filled with noise, news, social media, conversations, and endless information. This external chatter drowns out our inner voice, making it difficult to hear our own wisdom. Example: many spiritual traditions encourage solitude and silence as a way to connect with higher consciousness. Buddhist monks, for example, practice noble silence to quiet the mind and awaken insight. Silence deepens self-awareness. When you remove distractions and sit in silence, you begin to see yourself more clearly. Your thoughts, emotions, fears, and desires become more visible, allowing you to understand yourself on a deeper level. Reflection question: what happens when you sit in complete silence for 5 minutes? Do you feel peace, discomfort, or restlessness? Silence strengthens intuition. Your intuition, the deep knowing that guides your decisions, becomes stronger when you cultivate silence. When the mind is quiet, you become more in tune with your inner wisdom, making it easier to recognize truth and clarity. Example: Albert Einstein often spoke about how his greatest insights came to him in moments of silence and deep thought, not in moments of external noise. 2. The science behind silence and spiritual well-being. Silence doesn't just have spiritual benefits, it also has measurable effects on the brain and nervous system. Silence in the brain's default mode network, DMN. The DMN is the part of the brain activated during rest and reflection. Studies show that when we sit in silence, the DMN allows us to process emotions more deeply, strengthen memory and self-awareness, connect seemingly unrelated ideas, leading to creativity and insight. Study: neuroscientists have found that monks who meditate in silence have significantly stronger connections in the DMN, leading to higher levels of self-awareness and emotional regulation. Silence and reduce stress. Moments of silence activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body and reduces stress. This is why silent retreats and meditation practices have been proven to lower anxiety and depression. Study: a 2013 study in the Journal of Neuroscience found that 2 hours of silence per day led to reduced cortisol levels and increased neurogenesis, brain cell growth. Silence and heart coherence. Heart coherence refers to the balance between heart rate and brain activity. Silence has been shown to increase heart coherence, leading to feelings of calm, inner harmony, and deeper emotional resilience. Example: many spiritual traditions emphasize silent breathing practices to align the heart and mind, promoting a sense of deep well-being. 3. How to cultivate silence for spiritual growth. If silence is so powerful, how can we integrate it into our daily lives? Here are practical methods to use silence as a tool for spiritual and emotional well-being. A morning silence ritual. Start your day with 10 to 15 minutes of complete silence. No phone, no music, no external input, just presence. Use this time to breathe, reflect, or simply be. Why it works. Beginning the day with silence sets a calm and focused tone, helping you navigate the day with clarity. Silent walking meditation. Take a walk in nature without distractions. No phone, no talking, just the sound of your footsteps and the environment around you. Why it works. Silent walks reconnect you with the present moment and sharpen your senses. Practicing noble silence. Try a 1-hour period of noble silence each day. No speaking, no consuming media, just pure stillness. Why it works. This practice deepens self-awareness and allows emotions to surface and be processed naturally. The 24-hour silence challenge. Once a month, dedicate an entire day to silence. This means no speaking, no texting, no social media, just being present with yourself. Why it works. A full day of silence resets the mind, detoxes emotional baggage, and strengthens your connection to inner wisdom. 4. The spiritual wisdom of silence from different traditions. Throughout history, silence has been revered as a path to higher understanding in various spiritual traditions. Buddhism, the practice of noble silence. Buddhists believe that silence quiets the mind and leads to deeper insight. Many monks spend weeks or even years in silent retreats to cultivate mindfulness and enlightenment. Christianity, the power of contemplative silence. Christian mystics like Saint Teresa of Avila and Saint John of the Cross emphasize silence as a means of connecting with God. Contemplative prayer, also known as centering prayer, involves sitting in silence to deepen spiritual awareness. See Hinduism, silence as the language of the divine. In Hindu philosophy, mauna, the practice of silence, is seen as a way to transcend the ego and merge with higher consciousness. Swami Vivekananda once said, "Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation." Sufism, the silence of the heart. Sufi mystics use silence to listen to the whispers of the soul. They believe that true knowledge arises not from words, but from deep inner stillness. Reflection. What spiritual or philosophical tradition resonates with your experience of silence? 5. Exercises to deepen your connection with silence. Want to harness the full power of silence in your life? Try these exercises. A. The 5-minute stillness exercise. Sit in complete stillness for 5 minutes, focusing only on your breath. Observe what arises in your mind without judgment. B. The silent journaling practice. Before speaking or engaging with the outside world in the morning, write down your thoughts in silence. This helps organize your mind before external distractions take over. C. The deep listening exercise. The next time you engage in a conversation, practice deep listening. Remain completely silent while the other person speaks, and only respond after a thoughtful pause. D. The evening reflection silence. Spend 10 minutes in silence before bed, reflecting on the events of the day. Notice how silence affects your sleep quality. Conclusion. Silence as a gateway to transformation. Silence is not emptiness. It is full of wisdom, clarity, and transformation. In this chapter, we explored how silence connects us to deeper self-awareness and spiritual growth, the science behind silence and its effects on the brain, practical methods to integrate silence into daily life for greater inner peace, the role of silence in different spiritual traditions. By embracing silence, you open yourself to higher understanding, clarity, and a more profound sense of purpose. In the next chapter, we will explore cultivating silence in daily life, practical strategies for a quieter mind. You will learn how to create space for silence even in a noisy world, helping you live with greater peace and focus. Are you ready to bring more silence into your daily life? Let's continue this journey. Chapter 8. Cultivating Silence in Daily Life, Practical Strategies for a Quieter Mind. Finding stillness in a noisy world. Modern life is loud. From social media notifications to endless conversations, background music, and the constant hum of technology, we are surrounded by noise. The challenge is not just external noise. It's also the mental noise of racing thoughts, anxiety, and information overload. Yet, those who cultivate silence in their daily lives experience profound benefits. Clarity of thought. Decisions become easier when your mind is quiet. Emotional balance. Silence helps reduce stress and promotes inner peace. Greater focus. When distractions fade, concentration improves. Deeper relationships. Listening becomes more meaningful when we embrace silence. The good news is that you don't need to escape to a monastery or live in isolation to bring more silence into your life. You can cultivate moments of quiet even in the busiest environments. In this chapter, we will explore practical strategies for incorporating silence into your routine, how to quiet your mind even in chaotic situations, and how small moments of stillness can transform your life. 1. Understanding the different types of silence. Before learning how to cultivate silence, it's important to recognize the different kinds of silence and how each serves a unique purpose. A. External silence, reducing noise around you. Turning off background noise, TV, radio, notifications. Spending time in quiet places, nature, libraries, meditation spaces. Avoiding unnecessary conversations and mindless chatter. B. Internal silence, quieting the mind. Letting go of overthinking and mental chatter. Practicing mindfulness to stay present. Using breathing exercises to calm the nervous system. C. Intentional silence, using silence strategically. Pausing before speaking to make your words more meaningful. Practicing deep listening in conversations. Taking silent breaks to reset during the day. By cultivating all 3 types of silence, you create a life that is calmer, clearer, and more intentional. 2. The science behind why silence is essential. Scientific research supports the idea that silence improves cognitive function, reduces stress, and enhances creativity. Silence boosts brain function. Studies show that 2 hours of silence per day can stimulate new cell growth in the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. Study: a 2013 experiment published in Brain Structure and Function found that mice exposed to silence developed more brain cells compared to those exposed to noise. Silence lowers stress and anxiety. Silence reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation. Study: a 2015 study published in the Journal of Neuroscience found that 2 minutes of silence were more effective in reducing anxiety than listening to relaxing music. Silence enhances focus and decision-making. When the mind is bombarded with noise, cognitive fatigue sets in. Silent reflection allows the brain to reset, making focus and decision-making sharper. Example: many successful individuals, from Steve Jobs to Warren Buffett, have incorporated moments of silence into their daily routines to improve strategic thinking. 3. Practical strategies to cultivate silence in your daily life. Now that we understand the benefits of silence, how can we integrate it into our daily routines? Here are some simple but powerful strategies. The morning silence routine. Instead of reaching for your phone or turning on the news the moment you wake up, begin your day in complete silence for 10 to 15 minutes. How to practice. Sit in stillness with a cup of tea or coffee. Meditate or do deep breathing. Journal in silence, allowing thoughts to flow naturally. Why it works. Starting the day in silence sets a calm and focused tone, helping you navigate challenges with greater clarity. The power of silent breaks. Throughout the day, take micro breaks of silence to recharge your mind. How to practice. Step outside for a 5-minute silent walk. Sit quietly in your office or home with no distractions. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. Why it works. Short moments of silence help reset your nervous system and improve concentration. The digital detox hour. Technology is one of the biggest sources of mental noise. Set aside 1 hour each day where you disconnect from screens and notifications. How to practice. Turn off your phone or put it in another room. Read, meditate, or engage in a hobby in silence. Take a break from emails, social media, and TV. Why it works. Giving your brain a break from digital stimulation improves focus and mental clarity. Practicing silence in conversations. Silence isn't just about being alone. It's also about how we interact with others. Learn to embrace silence in conversations. How to practice. Pause before responding in discussions. Listen deeply instead of planning what to say next. Avoid unnecessary small talk and embrace meaningful pauses. Why it works. People feel more valued and heard when you use silence to listen fully rather than rushing to fill gaps with words. Silent eating, mindful meals. Most people eat while distracted, watching TV, scrolling through their phones, or talking excessively. Try eating in silence to truly experience your food. How to practice. Eat your first few bites in complete silence. Pay attention to the textures, flavors, and sensations. Avoid multitasking while eating. Why it works. Silent eating enhances digestion, promotes mindfulness, and deepens gratitude for food. 4. How to maintain inner silence in noisy environments. What if you can't escape the noise of the world? How can you maintain silence internally even in a chaotic environment? Create a mental quiet space. Imagine a peaceful sanctuary in your mind, a forest, a quiet beach, or a silent temple. When surrounded by noise, mentally retreat to this space. Example: if you're stuck in traffic or a noisy cafe, close your eyes and visualize silence within. Practice selective attention. Learn to focus only on what truly matters. Train your brain to tune out unnecessary noise by directing attention inward. Example: Buddhist monks practice this by focusing only on their breath, no matter the distractions around them. Use noise-canceling techniques. If external silence isn't possible, try wearing noise-canceling headphones, playing soft ambient sounds, rain, ocean waves, instead of chaotic noise, using earplugs in loud environments. 5. Exercises to strengthen your silence practice. Want to deepen your ability to embrace silence? Try these exercises. A. The 1-hour silence challenge. For 1 hour, engage in no talking, no texting, no digital distractions. Simply be present. B. The 24-hour silence experiment. Spend an entire day in silence, focusing on inner awareness and observation. C. The pause before speaking habit. Before responding in any conversation, pause for 3 seconds. Observe how it changes your communication. Conclusion: making silence a daily practice. Silence is not just about the absence of noise. It is about presence, awareness, and clarity. In this chapter, we explored different types of silence and their benefits, the science behind why silence is essential, practical strategies to bring silence into daily life, how to maintain inner silence even in noisy environments. By integrating silence into your routine, you will experience deeper peace, better focus, and greater emotional well-being. In the next chapter, we will explore making silence your greatest strength. You will learn how to sustain this practice long-term and transform silence into your personal power. Are you ready to embrace silence as a way of life? Let's continue this journey. Chapter 9. Making silence your greatest strength. The journey of embracing silence. Silence is not merely the absence of sound. It is a powerful presence that transforms the way we think, feel, and interact with the world. It sharpens our minds, strengthens our relationships, and deepens our self-awareness. Throughout this book, we have explored how silence enhances decision-making, communication, conflict resolution, and even spiritual growth. But the real challenge is not just understanding the power of silence, it's integrating it into daily life. In a world that values noise and constant activity, how do we live the principles of silence every day? How do we make silence our greatest strength? This final chapter will guide you in making silence a lifelong practice. You will learn how to sustain and refine your use of silence, how to apply it in different areas of life, and how to allow silence to shape you into a stronger, wiser, and more intentional person. 1. The core lessons of silence. Before we move forward, let's summarize the core lessons from this book. A. Silence gives you power over yourself. It allows you to control emotional reactions. It sharpens your thinking and decision-making. It helps you stay calm and centered, no matter the chaos around you. B. Silence makes you a better communicator. It enhances your ability to listen deeply and understand others. It makes your words more meaningful when you do speak. It strengthens your influence in conversations and negotiations. C. Silence helps you navigate conflict with strength. It prevents unnecessary arguments and emotional escalation. It gives you control over tense situations. It forces others to listen and reflect on their own behavior. D. Silence deepens your connection with yourself and the world. It helps you understand your true desires and emotions. It allows you to access deeper wisdom and intuition. It fosters a sense of inner peace, clarity, and purpose. 2. The challenges of practicing silence in a noisy world. Embracing silence isn't always easy. The modern world is designed to keep you engaged, stimulated, and constantly reacting. Here are some common challenges and how to overcome them. A. The fear of silence. Many people feel uncomfortable with silence because it forces them to face their own thoughts. But silence is not an enemy, it is a teacher. Solution: start with small moments of silence and gradually extend them. Begin with just 5 minutes of quiet time per day. B. The pressure to fill conversations. Social interactions often make people feel the need to speak constantly. Silence can feel awkward, but it is a sign of confidence. Solution: practice intentional pauses in conversations. Allow silences to exist without rushing to fill them. C. The digital distraction trap. Social media, notifications, and endless content make it difficult to find quiet moments. Solution: set aside silent hours where you disconnect from all digital distractions. Protect these moments as sacred time for your mind. D. External noise and busy environments. Not everyone has the luxury of being in quiet spaces. Solution: learn to cultivate inner silence. Use breathing techniques, visualization, and mindful awareness to stay calm even in noisy settings. 3. Turning silence into a daily practice. To make silence a part of your daily life, follow these practical steps. Start and end your day in silence. Spend 10 minutes in complete silence every morning before checking your phone or talking to anyone. Reflect in silence for a few minutes before going to sleep. Why it works. This bookends your day with clarity and peace. Use the silent pause before speaking. Before responding in a conversation, pause for 3 seconds. When making a decision, take a silent moment to reflect. Why it works. It strengthens self-control and makes your words more meaningful. Schedule a silent hour daily. Dedicate 1 hour each day to being completely silent. No speaking, no digital distractions, just being present. Why it works. It trains your mind to appreciate and embrace stillness. Take a silent retreat once a month. Spend a day in silence. No unnecessary talking, texting, or distractions. Use this time for deep reflection, reading, or connecting with nature. Why it works. It resets your mind and strengthens your ability to think clearly. Practice silence in conflict and negotiations. Instead of reacting instantly in arguments, stay silent and observe. When negotiating, let the other party speak first after making an offer. Why it works. It gives you greater control over situations and prevents emotional responses. 4. The lifelong benefits of silence. If you commit to integrating silence into your life, here's what you can expect. More clarity and wisdom. You'll make better decisions by thinking before reacting. You'll develop a deeper understanding of yourself and others. Stronger relationships. People will feel more heard and respected in conversations with you. You'll avoid unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings. Greater emotional strength. Silence will help you stay calm in stressful situations. You'll develop patience, resilience, and inner stability. A deeper connection with life. You'll experience moments of peace and mindfulness in your daily routine. Silence will allow you to appreciate the beauty of life on a deeper level. 5. Final words. Embrace the power of silence. Silence is one of the most underrated tools for success, growth, and fulfillment. The ability to embrace stillness in a noisy world is a sign of wisdom, self-mastery, and strength. By applying the lessons from this book, you will make smarter decisions by using silence to think clearly, improve relationships by listening more and speaking intentionally, resolve conflicts with patience and self-control, reduce stress and cultivate a peaceful mind, connect with your deeper self and find greater meaning in life. Now, it's up to you to integrate these principles into your daily routine. The more you practice silence, the more you will experience its transformative power. So, take a deep breath, step back from the noise, and allow silence to guide you. Thank you for taking this journey. This marks the conclusion of the power of silence. Make everything flow in your favor. I hope this book has provided you with valuable insights and practical tools to use silence as a strength in every area of life. Remember, silence is not emptiness. It is power, presence, and clarity. The more you embrace it, the more life will flow in your favor. Now, take a moment of silence, reflect on what you've learned, and step forward into a life of greater wisdom, peace, and influence. The journey to mastering silence begins now. Final note: if you found value in this book, consider sharing its wisdom with others. Silence has the power to transform lives. Let's bring more of it into the world. Wishing you strength, clarity, and the power of silence.